Today we're going to think about recording a macro. Before you record a macro, you need to have two things. The first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you have the developer tab and the developer ribbon. To do that, you go into the Microsoft Office button, Excel options, get into popular, and just make sure show developer tab and ribbon is ticked. Okay, and just click OK and make sure you have that. In the developer tab, the second thing we need to deal with is the macro security. So if you click on macro security, and what I have done here is I have enable all macros, not recommended. So perhaps once you've done that, you'd maybe be better unticking that and just make sure you've got it like that. Okay, the reason for that is macros can actually carry viruses, so they're not always the best thing to have in your computer. So that's the two things. You must have a developer tab and ribbon, and you need to deal with your macro security. One of the most important things you have to do before you record a macro is you need to make sure you know what you're doing, because if you don't, it's going to record all of your errors. So this macro is going to deal with a header and footer. So let's just, before we even record the macro, just have a wee look at what we're going to be doing here. So I'm going to get into insert. I'm going to get into page layout. Now that would have been recorded in my macro. Okay, so that's a perfect example of why you just need to be a bit sharper before you actually start this. So page layout, we're going into our headers and footers, and I'm actually going to enter a custom header just with the name of the company, and then I'm going to enter a custom footer, just with perhaps a date, file name, just anything as an example, just to kind of just to show you what we're doing. So I'm going to cancel that just now. So please go over the basic actions first before you get started. Right, to record your macro, go into developer, record macro, and give it a name. Do not put spaces in when you do this, and please just remember to start with a letter, not a number. And mine's is going to be headers and footers. I'm going to do a shortcut key. This is not compulsory, but I'm actually going to do Shift and H. Please give it something sensible. If you use a fast key combination, it will override that fast key. So Control and B for bold. If you use that, you will no longer be able to use Control and B for bold. Lots of places you can save it. I'm going to just keep this default of saving it in my workbook. But if you want it to be on your computer instead of in the workbook, put it in your personal macro workbook. But I'm just going to keep it in this workbook just now. You would also type in a description, which is very helpful for somebody who's using the macro. I'm not going to take up time doing this just now, but the kind of thing I would type is this includes a company name for a header and a footer giving a path and file name and a date, and perhaps the name of the creator. Okay, and then I'm just going to click OK. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to insert a header and footer. So remember, we went into page layout, page setup, header and footer. Custom header in the center. I'm going to just put the name of the company. That's all I'm going to put, and I'm going to say OK. Then I'm going to do my custom footer. On the left, I'm going to insert the date. In the center, I'm going to put in prepared by, and then you would put in your own name there. And in the right, why don't I put in just the file path? Okay, now these are codes just now, but you would actually see them. You would actually see what they really are. I'm going to click OK there and OK there. And what I'm going to do now is in my developer tab, I'm going to stop recording. And that's us actually recorded our macro. So if we actually go in and have a wee look at our macros, here it is. We can edit it so you can actually see the Visual Basic. And here we are, active sheet, page setup. And if you take time to look at this, you will see everything that we have done in that. To run the macro, why don't I just get in to sheet 2, and you can run the macro in lots of ways. I can get into, cancel that. I can get into macros, headers and footers, and run. And that's putting in our header and footer. You can't see it in this view. The egg timer is just telling me it's taking a while to do this. So we just need to be patient to do this. Okay, that's it, that's done. So let's actually have a wee look at our views. Company name, the date. You can see that this is the path where it's been saved and prepared by. And that's us finished this lesson.